The key to life is knowing who you are. You need to get to know yourself if you want to vibrate on the highest level possible. Once you vibrate so high, you have all the confidence in the world, literally. You need to get to know yourself. You need to know what you like, what you don't like, what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. You need to understand your own behaviors and how you act before letting a whole nother person tell you about yourself. That's the only way you know yourself, is when you will not even let another person tell you about yourself. That's when you know yourself. A lot of times when it comes to getting to know yourself, you need to remove yourself from the crowd. You need to separate yourself and be alone for a while, because when you are alone, you are able to study your habits. You're able to study what you like. You're able to study what you don't like. You're able to study how you treat yourself, because when you treat yourself good, that is the main key. That is priority. You have to treat yourself good, because if you do not treat yourself good, then you're going to just take anything from anybody else, and you don't want to take anything from anybody, because some people might mistreat you and you're going to think that's okay. And no, that is not okay. So what you want to do is remove yourself, because what you are right now is a whole made up belief. You got to think about it. People that are around you, friends, family, parents, whoever's around you, they're going to tell you about yourself to make you believe that this is who you are when you don't even know yourself yet. So because you don't even know yourself, you're going to sit there and believe exactly what they're saying about you, which is so wrong. Like, you don't want to be somebody who's a pushover, or just let people talk about you in a way thinking that they know you when they don't even know who you are, because you don't even know yourself. So how can you let a whole nother person talk about you? You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to know yourself. That way, can't nobody step in the picture and just take control and mistreating you. We're so ran by society that sometimes it comes to things like, okay, if we don't work a certain job, or if we don't have certain things, then we're not considered cool, or we're not considered that we fit in with society. And that's how you may look at it. But in reality, it's like, okay, do you actually like this? Do you actually want to do this? You need to know what you like, what type of job you're looking for, because it can't be, because everybody else is doing something, you want to fit in, so you're going to go ahead and do what they're doing. All of this is literally just made up beliefs that society sets for us to look at. We overlook society so much that we don't realize that people are making these different beliefs of it's shameful if you do this type of job, or you'll be so cool if you do this. You have to understand, people are creating these beliefs. We're gonna use social media for example, right? So a lot of people will sit here on social media following a trend because it's cool, it's a trend. But social media doesn't allow us to really be our authentic selves, because we're following all these trends that everybody else is doing. But what about what you like? You got to think about it like this. If there was no trend, if there was nothing to follow, you'll be that person doing what you like. You'll be your best authentic self, because you're not following anything. And that's the best way to change something, is when you don't see anything. When you don't see anything in front of you, then you're going to go along with what you like. And then if you don't like it, you can change it. And being your authentic self is where you're going to find a lot of happiness and joy, because you're doing something that you love and something that you enjoy the most. Your whole viewpoint on life just has to do with what you tell yourself every single day. So the way you talk to yourself has a strong weight on how you view yourself, because if you're telling yourself all these positive things every single morning, then you're going to start off like that. You're going to start thinking more positive. You're going to start viewing things more in a positive way. But if you talk to yourself in a negative way because of how you grew up, or because of what you're seeing around you, then you're not going to become your best authentic self, because you're going to keep finding yourself depressed or sad about something because you're not where you need to be. And that's where these beliefs kick in when you're younger. sometimes your parents might install something into your head or tell you something's not right, and now you're gonna overlook it like, okay, growing up, I was told that this was how it was supposed to be. So, as a child, you being told what to do or people telling you about yourself is how your traits are developed, because you're going to have friends telling you things. You're going to have your parents telling you things. You might have other family members, strangers. You know what I'm saying? Different people are going to be telling you different things about yourself. And it's like when people are constantly telling you who you are, when you don't even know who you are yourself, that's when you're going to develop those certain traits growing up because of what you were told. Now your viewpoint is going to be viewed in that certain way because of how they got you viewing it. So for example, if there's a young child, right, who gets bullied in school and a whole bunch of kids are telling that child that, oh, that they do not look good, they're ugly, they're not smart, they're not cool enough to fit in, you know, different things, that child is going to develop a trait of insecurity growing up. That child might not find themselves looking good growing up. So now they're going to want validation from everybody. Do I look good? Is this cool enough to do? You're going to always want to seek something because of the environment that you were placed in. You know what I'm saying? And this is what has a big effect on people growing up. But the way to refix that growing up, when you become an adult, that's when you had to fix those issues. So now if you feel like you're not smart enough, you feel like you're not cool enough, you feel like you do not look good enough, okay, tell yourself every day, oh, I am the best looking person. Tell yourself every day, I am beautiful, I'm smart, I know how to dress. Like, you have to reaffirm yourself about things that you weren't told growing up so that you know, okay, this is who I am smart, I'm intelligent, I fit in. Like, you have to, even, and you don't even have to fit in to be cool. Like, literally, you have to be able to know that if it's not within your reach or likings, then okay, that's cool. Whatever brings you joy and happiness is what you should follow through with. So now, those same beliefs, now you have to change that. You have to take control. You have to take lead. You have to be the character of your life. Like, you have to be able to control these different things so that you can become who you want to be, so that you can unlock that full potential of confidence. Because if you tell yourself constantly that, oh yeah, I am smart, I am beautiful, you're gonna always catch yourself, you know, feeling good about yourself. You're gonna vibrate even higher because you're constantly telling yourself something that other people do not have to tell you every single day. And it's like when somebody else has to tell you something, that means there's an issue within yourself that you have to fix, because that's something wrong. That means, like, if somebody else gotta constantly talk to you or reassure you, you might lack some confidence. So the same way, if you was to grow up and somebody was to tell you, oh, you do not look good, or they might hate on you or say, you know, different things about yourself, when you grow up later on in life, you're definitely going to remember all those things that they told you, and then it's going to also cause you to doubt yourself. But you have to reassure yourself. So you know how many people told me that I was not the best looking female? And I don't care. You know why? Because that's how they feel. That is their perception. That's how they feel towards me. Cool. But I know that I am good looking, and I treat myself and I carry myself well. So my confidence is up there. So that's how you gotta look at things. You just can't care what other people think, because that person might like you, that person might not like you. Who cares? Everybody has different opinions. You're eventually gonna come across your type, so why worry about what one person has to say when there's literally a billion, zillion other people on earth, literally. So what one person has to say doesn't really matter. It shouldn't have no weight on how you feel. It shouldn't have to ruin your day. So the same way somebody else tell you that you're not beautiful or you're probably not their type is not how you're going to view yourself in the mirror. You're not going to go in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, because this person said this about me, I completely feel how they feel, and now I see what they're talking about. No, you do not feel how they feel, because when you look in the mirror, you see beauty. That's what you see, beauty. You don't see nothing else but beauty when you look yourself in the mirror. And that's how you got to have that confidence. You have to see something in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, I'm fine as hell. Like, you got to look yourself in the mirror and do that. What you got to do to be able to beat society is you got to create your own perception when it comes to things, your own world, like how you view things. You need to set your mind apart from others. So how you view things, how you see things, how you feel about things, you have to create that, because you're in control. You are the main character. Not them, you. When it comes to life, you need to know if you're reacting too much and take away from that, because the more you react to stuff is the more you're gonna catch yourself becoming more depressed about it. So you need to stop reacting to irrelevant things and start pouring in your energy into positive things. For example, if somebody invites you to go out, you don't have to go. You don't have to force yourself to go to please anybody, because you're taking away how you feel to make somebody else feel good if you really did not want to go. You got to start doing things more if it makes you feel comfortable, if it makes you happy. So like, if you feel like you're going to disappoint somebody else and that's why you're doing it to begin with, that's where you're going to fail at, because that means you care too much about what others think. And you're going to turn into a people pleaser. You're not going to be doing things off your own willing, off your own free will that God gave you. You're not doing it off your own free will because you want to please somebody else that invited you out, knowing that you couldn't even make it or you didn't want to go. You have to do things that make you comfortable, because that's how you're going to become who you are. When you do what makes you comfortable, but when you do what makes somebody else comfortable, you're becoming a robot. You're living for other people. You're doing things to please others. And you're going to build more confidence when you start seeing yourself say yes to things that you want to do. When you start actually putting yourself first. When you actually start putting your foot down. That's when you're going to start building more confidence. You need to live in your truth. Live within your voice. When you say no and you don't feel bad about saying no, that's when you know you gain the confidence, because only a person who feels bad about saying no is somebody who still hasn't found themselves yet, because you're going to be stuck inside of a loop of, okay, I said yes to this person, somebody else is going to ask you the same thing or ask you something different, and now you're going to say yes to them too, and now you're going to catch yourself in a big fat space of being lost because you keep saying yes. So saying no is how you're going to start building confidence. So start by saying no and start doing things that make you feel confident, brings you more peace, brings you more comfort. You got to treat yourself like you are the prize, like you are priority. You cannot make other people priority when it's your life, when you are the character of your life, when you are in control of your life. For example, you need to know what's okay and what's not okay. You need to know what are you willing to tolerate and what are you willing not to tolerate. For me, for example, if I'm in a relationship and I see my partner cheating or I see my partner lying to me constantly, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to stay there because I want somebody who's truthful. I want somebody who's confident and comfortable to come to me about anything. So you need to know and set boundaries to understand, like, what are you willing to deal with and what are you willing not to settle for? You need to know your limits. It's a human thing. When you break a whole nother person's trust, that person is walking away with trauma that they need to heal from. So of course, let's say that person that has the trauma enters a whole nother relationship, right? And because the last person broke their trust, now they're entering this new relationship with low confidence. Now they're like, okay, let's see how this other person goes. But this other person says, oh, I'm gonna be loyal to you and you could trust me, right? You guys both have a mutual agreement that you guys want to trust each other and that you guys will both be loyal and that you guys will not cross any boundaries, right? But one person breaks the trust. Now, when that one person breaks the trust again, that's gonna be more built up trauma. And now every time you meet somebody, you're gonna keep looking into your past because of what you already dealt with before. Like, when somebody breaks your trust, that is literally the biggest trauma that anybody would have to deal with, because trust, it takes a lot to build trust. Trust does not happen overnight because, you guys are both strangers and you guys are coming together to learn about each other, to build with one another, to share each other's traumas, to grow from it, right? So it's like when somebody breaks the trust, it's going to be hard for you to want to trust other people because now you're going to feel like other people are disloyal. Cheating is literally a big trauma for anybody to deal with. I don't care what nobody says, but when somebody cheats, it's hard to gain that trust because it's like you messed up already. So it's like, what else are you capable of doing? You already cheated, so it's like, what else do you have in mind that you're planning on doing? My point here is you need to know what you're willing to tolerate and what you're willing to not tolerate. So for example, when it comes to boundaries, you know not to cross those boundaries. If anybody crosses those boundaries, you're ready to walk away because you already standing on business that, okay, I'm not dealing with this. I told myself I'm good off this. I told myself that if this happens, then I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm no longer settling. You told yourself that. And once you become more confident, you're going to know who you are and what you do like and what you do not like. For example, at a workplace, you might have some coworkers that like to bully you, or you might have a manager who's very like pushy or, you know, disrespectful, because some people might have a big role, but it doesn't mean they're going to respect you. So if you do come across somebody like that at work, then you're going to catch yourself saying like, okay, like, is this an environment that I really want to like work at because I don't really like how they treat me here? Are you willing to stay or are you willing to leave? Because you're not at work to create friends, you're at work to make money. But if you're not comfortable where you're working at, then you have all rights to leave. You don't have to stay where you're at, because when somebody does not respect you, you're not obligated to stay there. That's why these jobs do have rules and they want you to go ahead and talk to the HR about it and stuff like that. But if you really do not feel comfortable somewhere, walk away, switch your situation, put yourself in a better, positive environment, because you can always switch jobs and do exactly what you wanted to do the first time, but the other one wasn't working out because of where you was at and who you were dealing with. Those boundaries that you set for yourself and you stood on business, okay, now you know, okay, I'm not gonna be dealing with this no longer, like no more. I will not deal with this again. You know that because you dealt with it the first time and you did not like it. So next time it happens again, you know how to go about it. The more you stand on business, the more you stand on boundaries, and the more that you tell yourself that you're not willing to deal with certain things, that's when you're going to catch yourself more confident and more comfortable of walking away or even telling people no or even standing on boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're gonna gain that confidence to begin with. And once you gain that confidence and you stand on those boundaries, everybody around you gonna start respecting you more, because they gonna see that you're serious about what you want and what you do not like. They're gonna see the changes. They're gonna see how serious that you get. And when you become serious with what you say that you're serious about, other people will respect you more. You're not gonna just allow anything to happen. You're gonna know when to leave. You're gonna know when not to settle. For example, if you're in a relationship with somebody and somebody cheated on you, and you knew that from the jump, you told this person, oh, if you cheat on me, I'm not gonna stay here, and then you walk away. It doesn't matter what the person does. They can cry, beg, blow up your phone, call you on a whole different numbers. Like, it don't matter what they do. The moment they messed up and you stood on business, you will forever have that respect, and nothing will change that, because you learn to value yourself more than what that person did. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself before that, and you told yourself, I am not going to let this happen again. You stood on business. When it comes to a woman being in a relationship, it doesn't matter how long she's been with you, what she did for you. It doesn't matter what y'all been through. Once a woman realizes that she no longer want to stay there and that she's ready to leave because this is not what she wants, this is not what she wants to put up with, you could do anything, cry, beg, plead. Once she turns around and walk away, there's no coming back. Don't even try to chase her. She's not gonna look back, because she already told herself that this is not what she's gonna deal with no more. She already told herself that she's done. And when a woman is done, she does not look back. You could go ahead and go cry. You could go take a hike, because she's not coming back. She's not. Because a woman could deal with so much, and once that built up hit that point, that woman knows that she no longer wants to deal with you. She's not gonna go back to you. She's done. And the respect level will never be the same, because it's gonna be hard for her to look at you how she once viewed you once you mess up. The whole point of this video is, once you understand yourself and you know exactly what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing to not deal with, is the moment you're going to build more confidence. You need to be able to study yourself to know who you are before other people can tell you who you are, because nobody else can know the best version of you but yourself. You know who you are. You know what you've been through. You know what it took for you to get out of those situations. Can't nobody take away that confidence that you built for yourself. So that's the only way to build confidence. You need to talk good about yourself. You need to be able to stand on business. Like, you have to know when to not step over boundaries. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely going to shoot a part 2 of this video because there's a lot more things that I want to talk about. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Nini. We are out the building and we are gone.